Does it work? I can't hear myself at all now too, but maybe you can hear me now. Does it work now? Sorry, it's just I didn't prepare so much. I just really wanted to get started with a live stream, and if I get into the technical stuff, so I will be forever spending time with it. So today it's just my acoustic guitar and me, and so I set up everything with the looper and the electric guitar. Maybe I can get that going for the next time because I want to be on more often here. So I'm just I want to talk about my ideal and the jazz guitar solo arrangement that I did. Maybe you saw the video, and I want to just, share how I work on a chord melody arrangement, also using shell voicings. And if you want to, at the end, I don't have so much time because I have a student coming in, but I have like 25 minutes, something like this. You can also ask me questions and I try to answer them. So this is just like a lead sheet that I got from the web. So that's my ideal. That's the tune that I want to do today. It's I'm going to play it in E flat. I'm going to play it in B flat. Sorry. So I have been working on the tune in E flat, and I have been playing that tune when I have been studying jazz guitar in Amsterdam, and I had a lesson with Jesse, and we just did this tune then. And now, since I'm doing this Chopin webinar, maybe some of you people know that or also have been taking part. I have so many new ideas how you can harmonize a melody. And so I thought maybe just take any melody. Sometimes it's really a good idea to work on something that you already know for a long time. Sometimes that's easier, and I know this song for a really long time. And I started working on it in E flat, and I tried to, because that's a really good exercise, I tried to have a chord with any note that I would play. But then it just didn't feel good, and I realized that's not how I want to play it. And then I remember that there's this really cool John Scofield, My Ideal version. So look it up in YouTube. It's John Scofield, My Ideal, and by accident he's playing it on a Western string guitar as well. And so before I'm rambling on here, I'm going to play it one more time. I hope the sound's going to be okay. By the way, this is I bought this guitar. It's a Martin SCO whatever. I bought it maybe 6 years ago, and it's already falling apart. So my timer is ringing. I'm sorry. Yeah. So this is a really nice tune that is not so long. It has 16 bars. So when I work on a tune, one thing that I basically always do is I record the chords on the looper. I can't do that today. Maybe I demonstrate that another time. I would just record the chords on the looper and play the melody, right? So just to hear how that sounds. And then I would, just also play only the melody without the chord, just like to understand where I can play it. Ja, warte mal. Yeah. So one thing that I like to do is to understand in which key the song is, and in this case it's in B flat. And then when I play the melody and I know the tune is in B flat, so many jazz standards are really like in one major key, let's say. And so then you know, when you look at the sheet and you see there are no flats or sharps, then you know that all the notes that don't have any sharps or flats, they are from the key. So it can be kind of helpful to just know, okay, that's the B flat major scale. Right, so that's the key that I'm using for my ideal. And then I have like the first note, that would be a G in this case. And then that's not just like a G, but that's like a note on the 6th degree if you want to, or the 6th note in a B flat major scale. So it would be like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's a G as well, right? I'm playing it in a higher octave, right? Because I need possibly to have some space for the chords. If I play it here, then that will be hard to find a chord on the one string. Everything is possible, but let's start with the basic stuff. So I would possibly play it an octave higher. And then I would possibly just play that 1,000 times in the entire melody, just to really get it into my system. I want to create a chord melody arrangement that's more intuitive and not so much coming from thinking. So in this case, I know I'm starting on the 6th, and then this thing happens. Right. And that's a major triad. You can see it's like 1, 3, 5. We are in B flat major. The first chord in B flat major in this tune would be a B flat major chord. So that makes like complete sense. And then I have the 6. So this is also a way how I understand it now. It's not just like notes or spots or frets, but it's notes that have a meaning. And so I know I start on the 6th, and then I go to the A, right? The A in B flat, that would be the major 7. But also if I look on the sheet, I know the next chord is coming up. There will be a G7. Going to explain it more thoroughly in a second. And then so basically I'm understanding each note of the melody, analyzing each note of the melody to the chord symbol that's on the page. And like this, I know what's happening, right? So I know here that I can play like a shell voicing here, right? So the shell voicings are really also very good for chord melody arrangement because they have the highest note on the G string, and then I have space on the B and the E string. And also, by the way, I just have been working on a course that you can buy if you want to, that's 15 minutes long, and that really, really explains what shell voicings are and diatonic chords. It's really for beginners. So if you don't know the basic stuff, this course is really for you. It's not so advanced. It's really to understand that. And so like this, I can just like, have the chord and then the melody. And then I'm not stressing myself out at the moment to like harmonize every note of the melody, but I'm just harmonizing one of the notes on the chord. So in this case, I have 4 notes on one chord. I'm taking the first one. Then it goes to the A. I have a G7 on my page. So I'm playing a G7. Right, that's a shell voicing again. And here again, a shell voicing. So to really break it down, you can also think, okay, first I'm playing the B flat major 7. Then I'm playing the G7. And then I'm playing the C minor 7. Still, we are still in B flat. And in my brain, it's of course, this would be the tonic. This would be a secondary dominant 5 going to 2. Or you can also think like normally you would have a G minor chord on the 6th degree. But it's a dominant chord here because that's leading more to the C minor 2 chord. So it's sort of 1, 6, 2, 5. No, 1, 6, 2, no 5. And then I'm just, it's beautiful to have the 13 up here. You could also play a 6 chord, but then, I don't know, it's your choice, right? Then you have 2, 6, and I like this. And then it goes sort of to a darker feeling if you want. In the scale, I can see that's like the 4 E flat, D, major 3rd, thinking from B flat, right, and then I harmonize. I'm just like getting a little confused because I'm looking at the sheet in E flat here all the time. Maybe I should put it away. Right, so I'm harmonizing the E flat with this chord. Right, so when I have been studying in Amsterdam, many teachers actually really teach that you play with a thumb, which if you start with that, you will always do it because it's really, really handy. But don't freak out, you don't have to play the root all the time, right? You could also play it like this. And then if you look at this chord, and this, for example, is something then that segues into this Chopin stuff, because this is a half diminished chord. So this is a C minor 7 chord. I think many of you know the C minor 7, right? That's like 1, 5, flat 7, and minor 3rd, and just like move the G to the G flat. Then it's C, G flat, B flat, E flat, and then that's a half diminished chord, not a whole diminished chord. That's a whole diminished. A half diminished chord. That's a very important distinction, right? So the half diminished, Chopin uses it a lot for many things. But if you have an A flat in the bass, then it would be like a A flat, major 3rd, flat 7, 9, 5, like an A flat 7, 9 chord, right? But if you don't want to play it and you want to just harmonize this note, you can again play like an A flat 7 shell voicing, and like this. Right, this would be also perfect. I just like this one because the half diminished as a structure in itself sounds good, you know, just sometimes like structures in itself can be used in many places, and some structures sound better than others. I have the 9 as well. And then I have the diminished with a G in the bass, so that's a G7 flat 9. So maybe let's talk about the bar number 3 and 4 of the tune, and let's reverse engineer that, because I always like to do that. So we're ending on the C7 in bar 4, and we have the D here. And I still have a shell voicing, super practical, and then I have the 9. So that's a C7 9. And in the key of B flat major, there will be again a secondary dominant 5 going to 5. And then I have just like you know, the A flat 7 going to the G7. And so what's happening here is a little maybe confusing, but so first of all, we would maybe expect a C minor chord here. That would be on the 2nd degree. In B flat, we would normally have a minor 7 chord. And if we see something like A flat, G7, that's more or less like a 2-5-1 in minor. So many people, so let's forget about the tune for a moment, but instead of playing D half diminished, G7, going to C minor, that's a 2-5-1 in C minor, right? Many people don't play D half diminished G7, but they would rather play A flat 7 in place of the D half diminished, and then C minor. It just sounds really good. And so that also explains a little bit where those 2 chords come from. Maybe it's just like a chromatic movement that would lead nicely to C minor, but here it goes to dominant 7. So I'm starting over. Right? And just when you play stuff like this, just be sure that you hear the melody in your inner hearing and just really play the melody the loudest, right? Not right, but you want to have that really right. In this case, for example, I have the melody also as a part of the chord. That's also possible, right? And very quickly before my tune comes, I want to mention the next part is a little tricky. That would be bar number 5. Then we are playing an F7 chord. So in bar number 5 of the tune, there's an F7 chord. We are in B flat, so it's the 5 chord. And very interesting. I love stuff like this. You can see, look, what's that? That's an F major triad and the 6. And if we analyze it to the F, right? So something is repeating. What is repeating is we started like this. And now in bar 5, we're coming back, but somewhere else, sort of a motive. And it's again, it's a dominant chord now. Right. So this is, in many books, you have like F7, C minor 7, F7, so like 5-2-5, which is a little confusing. So I'm playing this chord, which is really a cool voicing. It's basically like a G minor with a, but I think about it like a C minor 7-11 with a G in the bass. And and there would be an F add 9 with an A in the bass, yeah. But I think what's so important about this passage is like F, right, and then back to the shell voicings. Yeah, so that's how I work, and I would possibly just sit down and play all the time the melody. So I would learn it by heart, and I would play it again and again and again, and then sometimes just like new ideas come. Sometimes my hand just plays another chord and I'm like, oh, that's also possible. And sometimes it's also just like, this place doesn't feel good. So you play the whole thing, and then there's this one thing, sometimes it manifests in a chord shape where you think, oh man, I'm having technical issues or whatever, but just doesn't feel good. So if you have that, just to be really honest with yourself, that's so completely normal. We all have that, but then just to try to work on this place that doesn't feel good until you come up with something that feels better. And that sometimes can lead to changing the key of the entire arrangement. Or it can also lead to letting go of something in some cases, right? When I started harmonizing, I wanted, sorry. Oh God. I can't do it now, but I wanted to just, have a chord under each note. And I also had like all the Kurt Rosenwinkel stuff in my head where he's playing this amazing chords on the fretboard. I wanted to have something like this, but then for me personally, I realized that's not feeling good. Also, not even if I could play it, I don't know if I want to play it like this. I like to maybe have a more sparse, just like some notes with a chord, maybe some space to play a line. And also what I really like is if I manage to play in a way that it's different each time, right? So I want to say, always look how you can make it feel good to yourself. And last but not least, I want to say, if you're completely stuck, you can, what I do, for example, is really, sometimes I just Google, transcription from pianists, actually, but also from guitar players, but also from pianists. And I just look which kind of chords they play, because sometimes there's just like another way to reharmonize it that will be all of a sudden also easier to be played and will be much more fun. So stay open to other versions of the same thing. And yeah, that's it. I think the bell is going to ring in any minute. But that's fun. I will hopefully check the technical stuff out here and be able to also play with my looper and stuff. I thought that would be working already. Yeah. If you have any questions, now would be the time. I also want to mention that this chord melody arrangement is going to be available in my club, in the Jazz Guitar Coffee Club. There's a new video every Sunday morning. So now I think we're in like week 20, and it's always a very short video with a PDF, different stuff. I have to be honest, sometimes it's very complex stuff. Sometimes it's funky, something that you can play. But this Sunday, it's going to be this arrangement. I still have to write it down. It's going to be a close-up recording of my Ideal with the PDF along. So give it a try if you want to. The club is €9 per month, and you can cancel it anytime. Yes. Still have to get the hang of this thing here. Yeah. Okay. Maybe if anyone has a question for me. So otherwise, I'm going to log off and leave you with your guitar. And yeah, if you like it, let me know, and maybe I'll be back. See you around. Bye.